all gathered here to pay tribute to our ancestors who have brought us here, and look at the massive contribution. Wherever our ancestors is and around, when they look at this procession that is about to leave the Devraj Straits corner, they will be happy and more than happy. We will have a lot of more talking and so on as we move along. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Devraj Straits Junction. We are on the Pinal Quinam Road at Devraj Straits Junction. Devraj was one of the ancestors who lived in this area, who helped to propagate this area to bring it into this condition that we are enjoying today. We are very fortunate to have in our midst, my brothers and sisters, our distinguished President General, Siri Tribhawan Sigobinji. Ladies and gentlemen, if I go to stand here to give you the history of this honorable gentleman, we wouldn't have time to reach at the Ganesh and Devi Mandir where our program will begin. But he is one of the pioneers, he is one of the person who really has assisted this community of ours to bring it to this condition that in today. So ladies and gentlemen, I give to you Siri Tribhawan Sigobin, the President General of the Hindu Festival Society, Sigobinji. And all other public devotees from various temples, devotees all, ladies and gentlemen, Sitaram to all of you, and a very warm and cordial welcome on behalf of the Hindu Festival Society to this, our 173rd Indian Arrival Day celebration. We are about to leave on this procession, and I must tell you that the Hindu Festival Society chose this venue to start this procession because this village is a place where the indentures came and they continued their lives after completing indentureship and after getting released. So in this trace is named Devraj Trace. It is after the first settler inside there, they called Devraj Maharaj. He was an indentured Indian that served his time, and he came here and bought land from the colonial masters and set up, colonized here. And then way out, there was the other indentured laborer who got released, that was Mahadev Lala, just almost on the junction here. And then just up the road here, we have Gurdat Trace. Now, you have to know who's Gurdat. Gurdat was also one of the indentures, and he bought lands from the colonial masters and set up inside a Gurdat Trace. Generally, this is a community that was first inhabited by the indentures who came and served, and you will hear more about this in our program on stage. But that is the background to we starting here today in memory of our ancestors who came and served, and they came and settled here. So let us have a very safe, a very dynamic procession. Let us remember our ancestors as we continue on this procession today, and pray for their soul wherever it is, and thank them for coming here and leaving a successful legacy to all of us. So Sitaram, and thank you, Mr. President.
Aja. He came from Calcutta, a stick and a bag on his shoulder. He turban and he capra. So I am part seed of India. India, the Indian can ship on the slavery, bind together to resist in unity. There was no more mother Africa, no more mother India, just mother Trini. My Mahuta planted sugar cane, down in the Caroni plain. Ram Logan bass there percussion eye. Jahaji Pai, brotherhood on the boat. Jahaji Pai, brotherhood on the boat. Jahaji so it is a great privilege to have such unique heritage. 50% Africa, 50% India. India, I have done duty to holiday, emancipation and arrival day. Since Patel Rosak made that journey, 150 years gone already. Whether you're Hindu, Muslim or Christian, let's walk this land hand in hand. We could only prosper if we try. Jahaji Pai, brotherhood of the boat. Jahaji Pai, brotherhood of the boat. Jahaji Pai, Kumayo, Zindawayo, Kumayo, Zindawayo, Kumayo, Zindawayo. For those who play in ignorance, talking about true African descendant, if you want to know the truth, take a trip back to your root. And somewhere on that journey, you go see a man in a dhoti, saying he prayers in front of a chandi. Chandi. Then and only then you'll understand what is a cosmopolitan nation. There's no room for prejudice at all. United we stand, divided we fall. So to always is here in Trinbago, Akko Kalyano Danyaho. Let us live as one under the sky. Jahaji Pai, brotherhood of the boat. Jahaji Pai, brotherhood of the boat. Jahaji Pai, Kumayo, Zindawayo, Kumayo, Zindawayo, Kumayo, Zindawayo, Kumayo, Zindawayo, Kumayo, Zindawayo. and a bag on his shoulder, Itoban and the Capra. So I am Patsy of India. India, the Indian can ship on this slavery, bind together to resist in unity. There was no more Mother Africa, no more Mother India, just Mother Trini. My Mahuta planted sugar cane, down in the Caroni plain. Ram Logan Bastel percussion eye. Jahaji Pai, brotherhood of the boat. Jahaji Pai, brotherhood of the boat. Jahaji that journey, for I to have Zindagi. So it is a great privilege to have such unique heritage. 50% Africa, 50% India. India, I have done duty to holiday, emancipation and arrival day. Since Patel Rosak made that journey, 150 years gone already. Whether you're Hindu, Muslim or Christian, let's walk this land hand in hand. We could only prosper if we try. Jahaji Pai, brotherhood of the boat. Jahaji Pai, brotherhood of the boat. Jahaji Pai, Kumayo, Zindawayo, Kumayo, Zindawayo, Kumayo. Take a trip back to your root, and somewhere on that journey, you go see a man in a dhoti saying it right.
Is about to start this program, Indian Arrival Day, 173 years, under the auspices of the Hindu Festival Society and the Ganesh and Devi Mandir. Again, I want to thank each and every one of you for being so obedient in the parade. You participated with such a high standard and dignity that you really bring Mendez alive today. Mendez was dreaming for an occasion like this. And because of each one of you, that dream is fulfilled. So, on behalf of the Hindu Festival Society, I want to thank you all so dearly and so sincerely for being so obedient and faithful for this national occasion. Indian Arrival Day, under the auspices of the Hindu Festival Society and the Ganesh and Devi Mandir, today is a very significant day in the life of all of us. We are the children of the indentured. And when you look at the progress that the children and the indentured made, and you put it together, all what you can see is joy, happiness, and glory. Again, we must thank all the ancestors who have toiled, who braved all those harsh conditions in order to prepare this platform for us. I have a very simple part to play in this ceremony to introduce to you the chairman of today's proceeding. He is the president of the Hindu Festival Society, Siddhi Sigobinji. He is also the president of the Ganesh and Devi Mandir. Ladies and gentlemen, we are very fortunate to have an individual like Mr. Sigovin in our midst. When it comes to the development of culture, when it comes to sewa, when it comes to the propagation of culture and Hinduism in this country, he's number one. For all my life that I have known him, he always worked to propagate Sanatan Dharma. And when you look at this little tiny village that he grew up in here and born and grew up in here, you could see the significant contribution he has made for the survival of this Mendez village. This used to be Aziz's estate, owned by Harun Ahmad and the rest of them. And it went up on sale. And Mr. Sigovin, in his good judgment and wisdom, thought it fit to purchase that estate. So all the tenants who was on that estate today is landlord. Dhanyabad. That is the kind of contribution, that is the kind of effort, that is the kind of sacrifice he has really given to the people of Mendez village. You don't like me to say what I am saying, but if I lie, tell me I lie. But I know I'm talking the truth. So ladies and gentlemen, this great honorable gentleman is our leader. And we have no hesitation here this afternoon in presenting him to you. You know, you have made him feel so proud. When you look at this audience here today, you see people from all over the country, you know, join in here today. That is the respect that they pay to him. We have so many pundits here. We have His Excellency, the High Commission of India has a representative here. We have from the Muslim faith, we have from the Christian faith, we have from the Hindu faith. But because of this event is held in the mandir here, this is not a religious event. This is Indian Arrival Day. If you look at the float outside, you will see the cross, you will see the Om, you will see the moon. So we embrace everybody today. Some of us believe because we have elevated into high position, we forget where we come from, but we ain't going through all that discussion today. We have no time for that. So I give you now the Honorable President General. Let us stand and give him a standing ovation and welcome him here from your heart this evening. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and Dhanyabad, our President General.
Thank you, my colleague, for all those glowing words. And on my own behalf, let me extend a warm and cordial welcome to all our senior pundits, our Satyacharyas, pundits, our guest of honor today, who will deliver the feature message, Mr. Raj Kamal, representing the Indian High Commissioner, His Excellency, Mr. Biswadeep Dey, and ladies and gentlemen from all our different branches, and ladies and gentlemen all, the people that will deliver the prayers today to officially open this program and this celebration today. To all of you, a very cordial welcome and Sitaram. Nothing happens without putting God first. So today is no less. We must start with a prayer. And in so doing, I want to take the opportunity to bring greetings to the Islamic community on the occasion of Ramadan, and to the Christian community on the occasion of Corpus Christi. So, on behalf of the Hindu community, I take pleasure in inviting Mr. Ashok Maharaj to lead us in the Hindu prayers.
Sabko Jai Jai Sitaram, Sabko Rithawa, let us all stand for a moment. हाथ जोड़कर हम ईश्वर को प्रार्थना करेंगे Bhagwan, Dhanyavo Prabhu, God thanks for blessing us with this human body. Without it, we could not have been able to present ourselves to do what we are about to do. May you simply accept our humble prarthana on this, the occasion, auspicious occasion of Indian Arrival Day 2018. We pray. Sri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Sri Saraswati Namaha. Om Sri Guru Charana Kamale Namaha. Om Sri Sita Ramachandra Namaha. Om Sri Shiva Shakti Swarupanyaya Namaha. Gajananam Bhutaganadi Sevitam Kapita Jambu Phalacharu Bhakshanam Umasutam Shoka Vinashakarakam Namami Viganeshwara Pada Pankajam Om Yada Yada Hi Dharmasya Glanira Bhavati Bharata Abhyutanam Tadatmanam srijamyaham paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chadushkritam dharma sansthapanartaya shambhavami yuge yuge. Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. Om Pita Swargaha Pita Dharmaha Pita Hi Paramam Tapa Pitari Priti Mapnane Prayante Sarva Devata. Om Siddhi Buddhi Prade Devi Bhukti Mukti Pradayani Mantra Murti Sada Devi Mahalakshmi Namostute Mahalakshmi Namostute Mahalakshmi Namostute. Om Asato Ma Sadagamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya Amritam Gamaya Amritam Gamaya. Boliye Sri Gajanan Swami Ki Jai. Boliye Sri Satya Sanatan Dharma Ki Jai.
Thank you very much, Panditji, for those words of praise. And on behalf of the Muslim community, would you want your guests to be standing? Okay. Okay, so the next, you could have your seats, ladies and gentlemen. And on behalf of the Muslim community, one thing, ladies and gentlemen, you must understand that Indian Arrival Day holiday is for all religions and all cultures. So when we celebrate Indian arrival, we embrace it all. Just like, you know, when the Fatal Razak came and all the other ships, Muslims, Christians, and Hindus, they all faced the same perils to reach here, and they were united. But you know, as time went on, you know, all different things happened. But for us, at least today, we must be embracing each other and have mutual respect for each other. And so we will have, on behalf of the Muslim community, Mr. Aga Khan to deliver the prayers.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuhu. Sitaram, and thank you for the opportunity that we can all join and have this prayer. It is one of the prayers that Muslims have carried for all their life. And today I will try my best in the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful, to do that prayer. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Malik Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta alaihim ghairil maghdubi alaihim waladdallin. Amin. It is said in the Quran, Dhalikal kitabu la raiba fi, he hudal lil muttaqin. In this book called the Holy Quran is wisdom and knowledge. Wisdom and knowledge, when you have put into practice, you will become a conscious human being. You will become that Muslim, you will become that Hindu, you will become... I am a person who is involved in this temple from the time I was a little kid. And God is here, there, and everywhere, and God is in your mind, God is in your mind, God is in you. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Thank you for those words of praise. And for the Christian community, it is my pleasure to invite Ms. Vanilla Balkaran. I think she represents the Presbyterian Church, but all Christians today.
Sitaram. Assalamu alaikum. Good evening to everyone. And happy Indian Arrival Day. Let's all bow our heads and close our eyes. Almighty God, you have given us this good land of Trinidad and Tobago, our heritage. We humbly pray that we may always be proud of ourselves, the people mindful of our favor and glad to do our will. Bless our land with honorable industry, sound learning, and neighborly love. Save us from violence, discord, and confusion, from pride and arrogance, and from every evil way. Defend our liberty and fashion into one united people the multitude brought here out of many cultures. Endure with the spirit of wisdom those to whom in your name we trust the authority of government, that there may be justice and peace at home, and that through obedience to your law we may show forth your praise among the nations of the earth. In the time of prosperity, fill our hearts and thankfulness, and the day of any difficulty may our trust in your grace be supported. In God we pray, amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, I now wish to invite all to stand for the national anthem of Trinidad and Tobago first, and kindly remain standing for the national anthem of the Republic of India next. Invite Bhavani Sigobin to lead us in the national anthem.
Forth from the love of liberty in the fires of hope and prayer, with boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare, side by side we stand, islands of the blue Caribbean Sea, this our native land. We pledge our lives to thee. Hear every creed and जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उचल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष माहे गाए तब जय गाता जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, you could have your seats. And it is quite noteworthy that the great-grandchild of our indenture can sing the national anthem of India. So now, this is Indian Arrival Day 2018, 173 years since the arrival of the Fatal Razak, and we are celebrating that holiday that is granted to us and we cherish so much. And I have to congratulate all of you for the interest that you show in celebrating this day, because this is a day dedicated to our ancestors. They work hard for this, and they left a legacy for us that we must be grateful at all times to them. So as we go on with the program, to bring the words of official welcome, I invite the President of the Brahm Sabha, Satyacharya, Dr. Pandit Brahmanan Rambachan, to bring welcome greetings to officially welcome Panditji.
Sitaram, my dear brothers and sisters, beautiful children of God. Mr. Chairman, the President of the Hindu Festival Society, Sri Sri Tribhuvan Sigovindji, Vice President Mr. Dindyal Maharaj Pandit, other distinguished Pandits who are here, Satyacharyas, junior Pandits, members of the various religious organizations, Mr. Aga Khan of the Muslim community and Mrs. Vanilla Balkaran of the Christian community, the Presbyterian Church. Let me extend congratulations to the Presbyterian Church on the celebration of its 150th year anniversary. Mr. Raj Kamal of the Office of the Indian High Commission, whom I had the pleasure of sharing his company 1 week ago, and the Commissioner's company, in a very moving and very beautiful ceremony for the announcement of the commencement of the Mahatma Gandhi Institution of Culture in Mount Hope. Welcome, sir. I welcome you. And to all you beautiful villagers and people from various walks of life who are here, it is my honor and pleasure this evening to welcome all of you. This evening, and today in particular, as I sat here, we celebrate and give honor and thanks on the 173rd year anniversary of the arrival of our ancestors to this part of the world, this part of the Caribbean, Trinidad in particular today. And we are very, very appreciative of the efforts that they made to come here in these very challenging times and circumstances when they came. But today, we who are here, we face a different level of challenge, a different level of issues that seeks to undermine the very presence and the core of what our country strives to achieve, maintain, and build upon, which our ancestors built. Today, I want to share these few words in welcoming you here. Because if it's one thing I want to see never happen to my country, is I never want to see my country divided, or the people in my country divided by political agendas and political systems and political parties. I believe that in a plural society, in a diverse society in which we have so many differences, we must accept that we live in a society that is filled with differences. But we must never, under any conditions and circumstances, allow the differences that exist in our society to further divide us as a people. To divide us as a people. Because the objective of every human being is to be strengthened by the differences of each other and to build a future that will enrich the very people who inhabit this country and benefit in this country. Today is a time for sober thought and thinking. Today is a time to invite this nation to remember that when our ancestors came here, they came here and they brought with them a culture that they introduced to a society, a culture, a system that they built upon, that promoted a higher level of human understanding and development. They came here not with weakness, but they came here empowered with the personality of Sri Ramchandra, empowered with the personality of Sita Mata. And believe you me, I have no doubts in my mind, as a little boy growing up, I am fortunate to have seen the struggles and the efforts that my community in Avukat made, that my parents, my Aja and Aji and my Nana and Nani made. So I understand when I say to you, I could stand here and say proudly with you, the days and the nights were never simple and easy. The days and the nights were very hard and difficult and trying. And I use the word trying because right now it is very hard and difficult and trying for many of us in different spheres. For our children at different levels in society. For our husbands and wives who may be threatened with loss of jobs and all these various things and the ills that face the human being in our country and the world today. But the one thing that today means so much to me about is this, that if we keep our thoughts together, if we keep our minds focused, if we keep our actions and our efforts in a concerted way directed to the achievement of a higher good, not just for us as Hindus, because I have no doubt in my mind, when my ancestors came here, and when they set roots in South Trinidad, my great-great-grandfather, his name was Janki Prasad Sharma, Pandit Janki Prasad Sharma. And he became one of the biggest landowners in Standard Village. But because of the fact that he didn't have that level of education, he lost his property and everything else to the Stallmeyers. But that didn't deter him, because he went back to India, and he came back, and he went back again, and he established his family here because he wanted to see growth. He never saw failure. I always remember my Aja saying this to all of us as his grandchildren. He used to say that his father never saw failure or never said failure, because he says one must never accept anything as failure. Failure is only when you accept that you have failed. And he never accepted that he had failed. He accepted the fact that he needed to change. He needed to modify his approach. He needed to build upon it. He needed to create further. And this is the ability that we have inherited from them, to use and to take whatever is available to us and presents itself to us, and to make it a workable situation and condition to build upon, not for ourselves only, but for a nation. My ancestors, your ancestors, and all our ancestors who came to this country did not build only for themselves. They built for their families, but they built for their families at a national level today, where we see the success of our country strengthened by the input of the East Indians in the society. And we must never be forced to deny this. We must never allow anyone to deny us this, nor must we allow anyone to threaten the principles upon which we have built that, the principles upon which our ancestors built something that we have inherited. This is why today and every year on this day, we have to be conscious of this. You and I, the President, the Vice President, and everyone here, we have inherited a legacy of wealth. A legacy of wealth. We gauge the wealth of an individual by his materialism, by his house, his status of his car, his job, and all these different things. We gauge each other by this. But it is a failure to gauge each other by this. Because the truth is, every one of us are enriched by the fact that we have inherited a legacy from our ancestors. A legacy of cultural wealth, a legacy of cultural discipline, a legacy of cultural values, a legacy of cultural messages, and a legacy today, which in accepting it as we have this moment, that we must leave for the next generation a legacy that is even richer than what we have inherited. If today, all of you sitting here, if today all the pundits sitting here, if today some of the pundits, I'm seeing you sitting with your wives and your children and your families and everyone else and the younger ones, if today we are to pay back and to give back to those who have given so much to us, our responsibility is to accept this legacy of wealth, to build upon it, and to leave it even richer than when we have so inherited it. To leave it richer than when we have inherited it. And this, I ask all of you to please understand this. Please understand what is expected, what is a must, and what you must commit yourself to. You must commit yourself to leaving a legacy for the next generation. You see, like this little boy playing with his computer in his hand. You see, like the little girls who sang the anthem here. Almira is not a little girl, but the Segovian daughter, granddaughter, who sang, and so many little children here. We must not just leave a legacy like that little boy sitting there with his grandparents and father and they. We must not just leave a legacy and say, listen, I'm giving you an iPad, I'm giving you an i7, I'm giving you an S7, S9, S8, whatever. No. But we must give to them the understanding of the wealth of moments like these that men like Mr. Segovin, Mr. Dindial, and the others have shaped and made, and now are passing it down to their children to build upon a future. So in closing, let me say this to you. And I want it to be very clear what I say. So I'll say it to you like this. We, the young ones of today, our duty awaits us. Now is no time for weakness. You see, when my brother created this song, he had a vision, because he knew a time will come when the Hindu will be asked to question, and the East Indian will be asked to question your future. We, the young ones of today, our duty awaits us. Now is no time for weakness. Now is the time for action. Let us love and serve one another. When you think of the word Jahaji Bhai, then how much does it mean now? Let us love and serve one another. Let us strive to build a beautiful future. Let us join hands and voices across this land, continuing the work our fathers began, united with courage and strength together. Rise up, awake, the time is right. O children of noble culture, and if ever there was a time that is right, that every East Indian has to respond to to preserve the integrity, not just of Sanatana Dharma, but to preserve the integrity of Trinidad and Tobago, to preserve the integrity of our homes, to preserve the integrity of our schooling systems, to preserve the integrity to walk on the streets, to preserve the integrity to be safe in our cars and safe in our villages and safe in our homes and ensure our daughters and sons are safe in their homes. It is now. Today, it's a very important day. A very important day. A day that we must unite our efforts to build upon what we have inherited. Every day I ask and pray God to allow me the ability and efficiency to make a contribution to the lives of others that will ensure they carry forth what I believe in. I believe in my ancestors. I believe that I am today my living ancestors. This is what I am. Their blood runs in my hand. Their genes runs in my body, so that they have not left me, nor have they abdicated any responsibility to me. They have just presented themselves in a different form that I stand here today and I represent. But they are here. If you listen to my words carefully, you will understand what I'm saying. They are here, and you must ask yourself what is required for you. I thank you all for listening to my few words that I've shared with you this afternoon. On behalf of the Hindu Festival Society, on this, the 173rd year of the arrival of our ancestors and the recognition of their contribution to this country, I want to remind you, be positive, be strong, be firm, have a clear vision. Do not compromise the principles of yourself as a citizen of this country. Give priority to your faith and belief in yourself and in your God. And in this way, if there's one time we have to work to make this country truly our home and a better place, is now. May God bless all. Sabkoi Jai Jai Sitaram. May I ask all to do me one favor. You know, I always say I am proud to be a Sanatana Hindu. I am proud to be who I am. Please clasp your fists and raise your hands in the air with me. I have made this in the past my mantra. Raghukul riti sada chali aaye, pran na jaye hamara varu, dharam nahi jaye. Dharam nahi jaye. My breath will go, but never my dhara. Satya Sanatana Vishwa Dharma Shanti ki. God bless you all. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are celebrating Indian Arrival Day here at the Ganesh and Devi Mandir, Hindu Festival Society. Now you might want to ask why we chose this Mendez village to celebrate this event. But I will give you the background to that. When you look at the people that own the lands in this catchment here, you will see that most of them, they were indentured Indians that got released from indenture, and they bought lands from the state at that time and started to cultivate, because they made Trinidad their home. The reason during that time, most of the lands there was bought around between 1914 and 1922 and so on. And it is because when you track that, you will see that the war had broken out. And so the shipping lanes were unsafe, for most of the travel back to India. So a lot of these indentured laborers, they bought land and they form, their own social unit. And a number of them, they are my relatives. Take, for instance, this morning we started at the Raj Trace Junction. Now, the Raj Maharaj was one of the indentures, and he was one of the first to go to cultivate a piece of land inside there and to own the land. So it was named the Raj Trace. Ever since, that is named so because of the Raj, who was an indentured. So he raised his family there and so on. And then just on the junction of that is Mahadev Lala, who was another indented, who bought lands there too. But Diraj probably was before him, so they name it Diraj. But the history is that Mahadev Lala also was there, and a few others. Then we go to the trace just next to that, and it's named Gurdat trace. Now, Gurdat came, he was an indented that came from Gonda in India, in UP. And when he finished his indenture, as a matter of fact, the history will show that he couldn't make the indentureship. So his family, who was my Nana and Nani, they gathered up the money, £1 and 10 shillings, and they bought out his indentureship so that they could free him, because he couldn't make it. He was a sore fella. But he was able to get land, and he had the furthermost parcel of land, either 5 or 8 acres. So he was another indenter that owned the land there, and they named the trace after him, Gurdat. And then Adhar, who is my Nana, he had the land next to that. And then it had the others like Mahangu and, all indented. So that these were the founding, settlers of this community here. So that when we revisit back this community on a very historic occasion and a very important event like the Indian arrival, we must refer back to these times, because it was the upbeat for this community when settlers come here and cultivate the forests and make it into productive crops and all of that. And hence the reason why most of who you'll find who are the succeeding social units that it have in this community came from the indenters. Now, Dindal said about this estate. This estate had a number of, this was Aziz's estate. I think it's either 500 or 600 acres. Am I correct? Or it's 200 and something acres. But whatever it is, you had 17 or 20 tenants that live on this estate. And this estate was, in receivership, and it was going to be sold to land developers. And that would have destroyed this village. So I don't want to claim no laurel for this, but I joined with the rest of the tenants, and we bought the estate from the bank. And so this village was saved in so doing, and tenants became landlords, and so on. But today we are focusing on why we came here and we are celebrating Indian Arrival Day. It's because we are paying homage to our ancestors who came here and made this community their home. They made this community their foundation so that the succeeding generations that took over is able to have, land. They are landlords, and they are able to continue. And this community have a long history like that, because we are celebrating Ganesh Jag for 63 years now in this community. And all this was founded by those who came, as the early, the indenters that came and settled here. They were the first set, that created this. So that today we remember those, succeeding members of the succeeding generation that took over. And they're still with us, and they made a valid contribution to keeping this community like what it is. And this is a very successful community. The young people, the children of this community, they all grow up to be well educated, and they all hold in, either top positions, or they're involved in very useful, enterprise. And you can see that there was good training that is left by those of the past parentage. They give a good upbringing to the children so that we could have a good community, and we could have a successful community. So on this occasion, we have a number of people that the committee from the Hindu Festival Society have chosen for recognition and to honor them for the part they played in the development of this community. Right, so we have, like I say, we have chosen a number of people for honoring on this occasion. And the first one I have on my list is 90 years old. No, he will have the whole history in his head for this community, because 90 years, much of the indented who was here, he would have known them. But for his part, he is 90 years old. He was born on the 27th of November, 1927. Of course, he was born in Trinidad. And to parentage, his father was Mahadev Lala. I don't know what part of India he came from. It had to be somewhere in the Gangetic Plains, which might be, either Basti or Faizabad or one of those places. And he came as an indented laborer. Now, he is the lone surviving, this is Ramnarayan Mahadev is the lone surviving male founder and member of the Ganesh and Devi Mandir. That is this Mandir. He is the founding member. So we go right back to all the years, 63 years or how much it is. He is involved all those years in it, since its inception in 1955. He was employed in various jobs, from being a truck driver right down to being, he was promoted as a checker in the last job. So he had an upward mobility in the job he was doing. So he wasn't stuck and doing the same job over and over. He was able to grow in the job. After retirement, he drove taxi because he was still, very active. Born in a rural environment and the son of an indented laborer, he assisted his parents, planted rice, worked in the cocoa and coffee fields, planted garden, and a farmer as well. As a young boy, he participated actively in the annual village sports organized by the late John Sigovin. Members of the Mendez Village Council held positive positions of Secretary and Vice President. Foundation member of the Mendez Sports Club, held position of Presidency, now an honorary member. Did cricket umpiring for Mendez cricket team. He held various positions in the temple as President, Vice President, Secretary from time to time. Member of the temple Ramayan Gol in years gone by. Also taught Hindi classes at Ganesh and Devi Mandir. Today still attends temple from time to time, although handicapped. Well, he has So he's truly a community person, and we take pleasure in recognizing him and honoring him for all that he has done and the guidance that he gave, especially as a mentor of the younger people. They could follow in his pathway and see how you don't have to be stuck and you could be enthusiastic all your life. And he's full of vigor and full of life, and we pray that he live for 100 years at least. And today we take pleasure in honoring him by offering him this plaque and a small token of a cash gift. So I now call on our chief guest, Mr. Raj Kamal, who today we can see him in the same, position. He represents here the Indian High Commissioner, who I will say, in my estimation, I think that he is one of the best High Commissioners that is appointed to the High Commission in Trinidad and Tobago, because he is in contact with the Hindu people of this land. So let's give him a lousy round of applause. So I now invite Mr. Raj Kamal to deliver this plaque to Mr. Ramnarayan Mahadev along with this envelope. Please accept this as a token of appreciation from us and in recognition. Thank you very much, Mr. Raj Kamal. And it is an honor to be honored by someone who came all the way from the motherland, to bestow honor on you. So, this is, it is certainly very, very, uplifting. And the next we have is Mrs. Geeta Maharaj. And Geeta is the mother of the spiritual leader of this mandir. She has two sons who are pandits, and she is popularly known by the rest of the members of the mandir as Deed, meaning sister. She is also called Baba Mother. Well, we all know her as Baba Mother. Very active around the mandir and very supportive of our Pandit. Her parents, the late Pandit Ramlal and Mrs. Maharaj, had brought her up and her siblings up as strict devout Hindus. Well, that is one thing they couldn't make mistake with. Her dad, the late Pandit Ramlal Maharaj, was a past Pandit of Ganesh and Devi Mandir and a senior Pandit in the community. Presently, her son, Pandit Rajesh Maharaj, is the spiritual leader of the Ganesh and Devi Mandir and is versed and well respected by all. Geeta is very supportive of her son as a successful Pandit. His chelas and the community at large have great admiration and respect for her. His mother may be described as a person who epitomizes motherhood. She has 6 children, 4 girls, 2 boys, all well brought up and successful. She is a mother who is well loved and respected. And today we have pleasure in recognizing her and honoring her for all that she has done for Dharma and for this community, and giving us a very, a very special and efficient son who is our spiritual leader in the mandir. So our congratulations to you. As we ask, we will ask our guest of honor again to do the needful, Mr. Raj Kamal. We're sorry to work you a little harder. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. Thank you. Now we have the next person to honor is Babuni Ramroop. And you know what? She's 93 years old. Yeah. And I probably know this lady for 50 years. So, and she seems to be looking the same way for all those years. It's because she will have a very pure mind that makes her, countenance and everything else look not aged at all. But she was born on 12th of May, 1925 at Pinal. She lives at Mendez Trace, which is the trace just high up the road there. She comes from a rural background, all or most of her life connected to agricultural farming. That is, she continued in the same vein as her relative, her parents and so on, who were indented, laborers. and she continued to, to perform, the same farming and agricultural activity. She was also a casual worker at the county council. Now this is the Separia Regional Corporation. Most of her working years was spent at Faizabad Market, where she sold produce. She was well known to many. She is a mother, grandmother, and great-grandmother, and was well able to keep her family and extended family as a closely bound unit. At one time, she resided at the location where the Ganesh Mandir originally was established, just next door at Laltu's residence. Was once married to one Bechan, the uncle of John Laltu. But we honor her today for the manner in which she lived all these years and the manner in which she carried about herself in her religion, in her culture and everything. She was a humble lady and, very unassuming and very involved. She attended most functions, or maybe all of the functions of the temple. She attended all the weddings in the village, and the many people that will invite her, she will attend as well, and always lived a dignified but simple life. So that such a person is deserving of recognition, and when to recognize the time is now. So we take pleasure today, Babuni, we take pleasure today in offering you this simple token of appreciation and small gift, for us to remember you for all the good things you did all during your lifetime. You have made us proud, and you are a sterling example for the other younger generations to follow. So, let me give you the honor of being, recognized by the Mr. Raj Kamal again, and this time you already know the lady, so 93 years old. Thank you very much, Mr. Raj Kamal. And I think these honorees are all very lucky to get, a son from the Bhumi, from, the motherland, to come and, deliver these recognitions to you. So we have Mr. Budlal Mahadev, are you here? Budlal. We have Pulbasya Mahadev, who is a long-standing member of the Mandir, and she is always very helpful, and she takes on the job of fixing all the puja, Bedi and all of that. But I wouldn't say unfortunately. Budlal, are you here? Okay, so we will read the profile here. We pause to recognize Mr. Chetnath Lala, past or retired principal of Shiva Boys Hindu College, and Mrs. Cordial welcome to you. Both of you. So this is an honor to Pulbasya Mahadev. Right. Now, she born and lived at Mendez since birth. Early education, the village school. Later attended Baldev Commercial College. Since childhood, inculcated in all aspects of Hindu rituals and prayers from her nanny. Very religious family. Granddaughter of Willi Maharaj. Got married to Budlal Mahadev. Both she and Budlal work up to this time in many aspects of temple activities, etc. A dynamic individual when it comes to temple work, prayers, etc. She was a Sruta for many years. Takes a leading role in Sunday service. Sometimes, in Baba's absence, she carries on with the prayers. Well, it wouldn't be true to say the prayers, but she carry on this like the Sunday morning service and sing the bhajans and so on. The years gave years of human service in the kitchen, preparing bhojan and so on. Making of parsad, preparation of items for puja, preparation of bedi, active participant in pagwa, accomplished singer in bhajan and chautal. She is a mother and grandmother. We pray that Ganesh Baba give her the health and strength to continue along this path. And today, we are recognizing her for all of this service that she is given that helps to propagate and propel Dharma. And her grandson, Kevin, will accept the honor on her behalf. I will call upon our Satyacharya, the Pandit Dr. Brahmanan Rambachan, to give this honor to the young man. Kulbasya Mahadev. Thank you very much. And is Purande here? Saj's wife. Okay, so my colleague, Mr. Dindyal Maharaj, who is a member of this community and very close associate of the family, he has kindly consented to accept the honor on behalf of Purande. Now, Purande, she is a member of this mandir from, we could see from the start, or near start. Right. She came, I believe, she came from where, boy? From Macaulay, yeah. Yes, and she was married to Sarabjit Sivasankar, a member of this mandir who served, even while serving, somebody cut off his hands. So he suffered tremendously, but he never gave up. He always was a member of this mandir, right down till the end. But his Dulahin is also a very active member of this community, and she is, you know, what do you call it, a person of impeccable character, unblemished character, and a person who helpful in all regards. If she will come to the mandir, she will serve, you know, in the kitchen, she will serve in preparation and do everything. So that she was a karma yogi, doing things. So she lives at Mendez village, Catrice, affectionately called Mami by most devotees of the mandir, the only surviving female member of Ganesh and Devi mandir since its inception in 1955. One of the early pioneers will also be praised for her hand in all temple activities, still attends temple as a participating member. Activities involve preparation of bhojan, days of chulha and firewood. Well, she was from the early school when they used to cook with firewood as fuel, and the cooking, you dig the dirt, chulha in the ground, and you cook on that. You know, that was the Pandara, stove. Gathering and bringing items for puja, pan leaf, bale, etc. She do so from time to time. Well known for her special blend of pepper sauce. Well, she had her own, specialty. Both herself and her late husband can be regarded as icons of our temple for their leading role in all activities. One can describe her as a quiet individual with utmost humility. So, Purande Sivasankar, I don't have her age, but she is 82. Well, see, so we have no doubt that she might become a centurion as well. So today we recognize her, and Dindyal will receive this, and I will call upon the President of the Brahm Sabha once more to do this honor.
I give you this on behalf of Mrs. Purande Sankar, on behalf of the Impeccable Civil Society. Please convey our thanks to you for your contribution to the community.
Thank you, Panesh. I accept. Right. Thank you. And so, this brings down the curtain on that item on the agenda we have on the program. That is the honoring ceremony. So to all our honorees, congratulations, and you will always be, recognized and remembered as special to the Hindu Festival Society and the Ganesh and Devi Mandir. So once more, congratulations, and a big thank you for all that you have done. Now we go to the next item. Mr. Surat Khan and group, and they are going to present for us an Islamic song that is Sufi singing. Now, Surat Khan is the son of Jahur Khan, who is to be a member of the Kirtan group of the Mandir. He was a singer of all the bhajans, and he is to join the satsang group, or the Ramayana satsang group, and all of that. And his sons and them following in his footsteps. But today, to mix a blend of the recognition of the Islamic culture, we invite them. Both him and Aga is his brother. They both, contribute in like terms, taken in the same vein of the father. So let's invite Surat Khan and Aga Khan with their Sufi presentation.
किस्मत की कम नसीबी सयाद क्या करे सिर पर गिरा पहाड़ तो फरियाद क्या करे पैगंबर के रोजा दिखा दे खुदाया दारे मुदा से मिला दे खुदाया पैगंबर के रोजा दिखा दे खुदाया पैगंबर के रोजा पैगंबर के रोजा शराबे मोहब्बत पिला दे खुदाया पिला दे खुदाया पिला दे खुदाया मुझे मस्त अपना बना दे खुदाया मुझे मस्त अपना बना दे खुदाया पैगंबर के रोजा 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 दिखा दे खुदाया पैगंबर के रोजा तो अपनी तजाली तो अपनी तजाली दिखा दे खुदाया दिखा दे खुदाया डरे दिल से पर्दा उठा दे खुदाया तो अपनी तजाली दिखा दे खुदाया तो अपनी तजाली दिखा दे खुदाया तो अपनी तजाली दिखा दे खुदाया मुझे मत अपना बना दे खुदाया पैगंबर के रोज़ा दिखा दे खुदाया पैगंबर के रोज़ा दिखा दे खुदाया पैगंबर के रोज़ा दिखा दे खुदाया 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 पैगंबर के रोज़ा दिखा दे खुदाया पैगंबर
तेरे इश्क में सरना दिया जो जग दिया तो क्या हुआ तेरे इश्क में सरना दिया जो जग ने तो दिया हुआ दीने मदीने शर्मे सकता दिया तो क्या हुआ दिल के तो फुरका नहीं हाजी बनाते क्या हुआ कैसे किताब खोल रे मछली बनाते ढोर दे परिया और पूजा नहीं काटी बनाते क्या हुआ जोगी 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 जुडर करता नहीं कपड़ा नहीं नन्याते हुआ अपना समरियन नहीं सारा घर नन्याते क्या हुआ आज का बोले तू ही तू जो हुआ सो ठहरती तू ही तू जो हुआ सो चले गया बोले बनमाए क्या हुआ के देवू क्या दिलाऊ अल्लाह अल्लाह के देवू के दिलाऊ कुछ भी नहीं मेहदी मेरा मौला किस कुर्बान होगी साहिब तेरा किस चीज की कमी है मौला तेरी गली में किस चीज की कमी है मौला तेरी गली में दुनिया तेरी गली में दुनिया तेरी गली में क्या तेरी गली में तो बात तेरी गली में किस चीज की कमी है मौला तेरी गली में किस चीज की कमी है मौला तेरी गली में तेरी गली में, एक बात तेरी गली में, दुनिया तेरी गली में, एक बात तेरी गली में। तौबा तेरी गली में, कुबला तेरी गली में, सब कुछ तेरी गली में। तौबा तेरी गली में, कुबला तेरी गली में, सब कुछ तेरी गली में। लाज मेरी आज तुमको, लाज मेरी आज तुमको, सजदा तेरी गली में, लाज मेरी आज तुमको, सजदा तेरी गली में, दुनिया तेरी गली में, तौबा तेरी गली में। किस चीज की कमी है मौला तेरी गली में, किस चीज की कमी है मौला तेरी गली में, दुनिया तेरी गली में, तौबा तेरी गली में। करते हैं तेरी मूसा कदर तेरी गली में, मौला तेरी गली में। करते हैं तेरी मूसा कदर तेरी गली में, मौला तेरी गली में। जो टूर पर ना देखा, देखा तेरी गली में, जो टूर कर ना देखा, देखा तेरी गली में, दुनिया तेरी गली में, तौबा तेरी गली में, दुनिया तेरी गली में, तौबा तेरी गली में। किस चीज की कमी है मौला तेरी गली में, चीज की कमी है मौला तेरी गली में, दुनिया तेरी गली में, तौबा तेरी गली में। मुँह तो है आज मेरी, दोनों तेरे लिए है, मौला तेरी गली है। मुँह तो है आज मेरी, दोनों तेरे लिए है, मौला तेरी लिए है। जीना तेरी गली में, मरना तेरी गली में, जीना तेरी गली में, मरना तेरी गली में, दुनिया तेरी गली में, तौबा तेरी गली में। किस चीज की कमी है मौला तेरी गली में, किस चीज की कमी है मौला तेरी गली में, दुनिया तेरी गली में, तौबा तेरी गली में। सबका खुदा है ये कि या हिंदू या मुस्लिम, क्या हिंदू क्या मुस्लिम। सबका खुदा है ये क्या मुस्लिम, क्या हिंदू क्या मुस्लिम। मस्जिद क्या हो मंदिर, सजदा तेरी गली में, मस्जिद तो हो मंदिर, सजदा तेरी गली में, दुनिया तेरी गली में, तौबा तेरी गली में, दुनिया तेरी गली में, तौबा तेरी गली में, दुनिया तेरी गली में, तौबा तेरी गली में।
Let me recognize in our midst Mr. Rajnath Maharaj, the Media Communication Officer of the HFS. Also, his son Giovanni, and especially Ms. Bisundev Bharat Singh, a benefactor of the Hindu Festival Society. Very cordial welcome to all of you. And we also have with us Mr. Surajdev Mongru. He is also a benefactor of the Hindu Festival Society and the past chairman of the Self-Help Commission. Very cordial welcome to all of you. And the pleasure is mine now to invite Mr. Raj Kamal to deliver the feature message today on behalf of His Excellency, the High Commissioner of India. Thank you.
Sattacharya Dr. Pandit Ramanand Ramachandji, President of the Hindu Festival Society, Chairman Mr. Tribhuvan C. Govind, all executive members of Hindu Festival Society, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen present here, Namaskar, Sitaram, Salam Alaikum, and good afternoon to you all. It is my great pleasure and privilege to be present here today amongst you at the celebration of 173rd Indian Arrival Day. On behalf of the High Commission and the people of India, I present heartiest greetings and congratulations to you all on this occasion. Today is the day of remembrance as we pay homage to those who commenced their journey 173 years ago from India onto these beautiful shores. Their perseverance, hard work, sacrifice, and determination laid the foundation for a free and resilient Trinidad and Tobago. The Indian Arrival Day tells us a tale of struggle and bravery. It is a story of those who converted adverse circumstances and harsh environments into a home for their families and future generations to lead enjoyable lives. From the lush forests, drenched paddy fields and sugarcane estates to now a cosmopolitan society with concrete jungle, Trinidad and Tobago has evolved over the years thanks to the indescribable contributions of the ancestors. Almost 17 decades since the arrival of Indians, this rainbow twin island country today enjoys a diverse, multi-ethnic, rural, democratic and culturally rich society built on the pillars of honesty, integrity, humanity and brotherhood. Despite the geographic distance, economic growth and social development, the ancestral bond between India and Trinidad and Tobago is strong and flourishing. The authenticity and vibrancy of Indians' culture is evident in the forms of traditions, language, attire, cuisine, festivals, art forms, and religion. We are very proud to see that a number of persons of Indian origin have risen to the positions of power and leadership. They have also earned respect and recognition for their achievements in various fields like academics, business, art and culture, medicine, science and technology, and politics. Ladies and gentlemen, on this historic day, I would like to commend all organizations and institutions and members of Indian diaspora who have worked assiduously to ensure the preservation and promotion of Indian culture in Trinidad and Tobago. In keeping with the spirit of Indian Arrival Day, the High Commission of India has embarked on an initiative to express our respect and gratitude as well as seek blessings from centenarians and all members over 90 years within the Indo-Trinidadian diaspora. We in the Indian High Commission have had the privilege of visiting over 50 elderly people throughout the country, where we got to hear the testimonies of their journey from India to Trinidad and Tobago. While meeting these pioneers, it was truly soul-enriching to hear about their struggle and humble lifestyle and the hard work that went into cultivating a life for themselves and their families. Having experienced the tale of their journey firsthand, it is with great respect and admiration that we bow head and thank them from their pioneering contributions towards the preservation and propagation of Indian culture, which is evident in their descendants who are now 5th and 6th generation Indo-Trinidadians. Being custodians of an ancient but culturally rich heritage, we take great pride in the strong familial bonds that India and Trinidad and Tobago share. As the global landscape is ever evolving, the success of Trinidad and Tobago embodies the triumph of the principles that are precious to India. The government and the people of India consider Trinidad and Tobago and its friendly people in high esteem. This may be evidenced from the fact that as India got independence, it established the Office of Commissioner in Trinidad and Tobago in 1948 itself. Soon after, we upgraded the Commission to a full-fledged High Commission to reinforce our desire to maintain diplomatic relations with the country and its people. Since then, we both countries have had excellent relations, which were manifested by exchange of regular high-level bilateral visits, including from honorable prime ministers and senior ministers from both the countries. On the cultural and educational fields, the High Commission has our flagship program called Indian Technical and Economic Cooperation Program, popularly known as ITEC, under which around 500 Trinidad and Tobago nationals have participated, including some from this part of the country, by availing short-term professional courses in India. We have regular visits of cultural troops from different parts of India to this beautiful country. We have 3 Indian chairs in the University of West Indies. The Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Cultural Cooperation, which was established in 1997, has been successfully running several courses for learning Indian classical music, dances, yoga, and Hindi, and organizes very popular cultural and academic programs. For the children of Indian diaspora members, we have No India program, popularly known as KIP, as well as various scholarships to study at university level in India. As I conclude, I would like to encourage the youth of this country to take great pride in their cultural lineage and be the means of its preservation for the generations to come. Thank you. Best wishes to you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Raj Kamal, for delivering such an inspiring and informative message.